Well, Jim, well done. The picture's suddenly looking a bit brighter, isn't it?
Yeah, really strong end to the back end of last week. Two really good results, and I think the manner of the second game in particular, scoring a last minute winner was always really good for morale. I think it was deserved as well for the effort the group of players have been putting in the last couple of weeks in some really tough circumstances. Obviously we've got a lot of bodies out at the minute, a lot of injuries, and that group have really stuck together and stuck at it against a good footballing side on Saturday, and to score in the manner we did is really good, and hopefully we can take that forward.
It must be pleasing. You've proved you can grind out a win or two, which you needed at the time, didn't you, really?
Yeah, grind out, discipline. We knew what they were going to be. You have to be. You have to give up possession at times. It's very easy to want to go out there and just get after a team like Wealdstone. They trust what they do, but if you go off in ones and twos, you get picked off and you get punished. And I thought our discipline without the ball, our understanding of what we were trying to do, it paid dividends, because they got really frustrated, went long when they don't want to go long, and we forced them into doing that at times. And look, if you come off 0-0, you probably get a few moans and groans, but that's the way you got to play against them sort of sides, and we got our reward in the end, scoring off a set piece. Another thing we knew we could do, and yeah, really good win, because when you're at the bottom of the table, you've got to fight for everything you get. You've got to do that at any time in this division. We know that already. But in particular, getting a good home win, that first home win was really good for us. Yeah,
you preempted my next point actually, because it's been a while coming, but so important you put one on the board at Agbra, really.
Yeah, definitely, because the performances have been alright, they've been okay, and it's been moments, and I think it was one of them moments that turned in our favour. Our striker reacting quicker than one of their defenders, and it sounds really basic, but that's what it's been coming down to this season. And full credit to Morgs, even at his age, you can still learn, you can still put ideas in players' heads. But I thought he was fantastic with the side of it that we expect. The off the ball stuff, the work, the endeavour, but that's a moment, that's a striker's moment in the box where you're reacting quick, and that's what we've all got to be doing.
It was very fine margins, as you said, but that really in many ways has been the story of the season, at least for most of it. Okay, Gateshead were a very good side, they probably beat you sadly that night. The first half at Ebbsfleet wasn't great, but aside from that, it's been pretty tight all the way through, isn't it?
Yeah, the fine margins become even finer the levels you go up. The step's big, we know that, and it's a step as you go up through the ladder. You've got to learn it quickly. There's no point just talking about it 6 months down the line. We know that now. We know what this division is, I think, already. There's some real quality. There's some big hitters who spend money. There's some teams who do it in a different way with their style. But with regards to ourselves, we have to be perfect. We have to be near perfect at least, to give ourselves a chance of getting results. And then find little moments. It's not always about changing how you play to score goals. It's the little things. It's the little moments around the box. Where's the ball going to drop? Am I anticipating it? And the same thing in our own penalty area as well. If you don't defend right, you get punished.
2 wins, obviously 2 clean sheets as well, which must be very pleasing.
Definitely, yeah. I think we've always built the success over 3-4 years on being stable, knowing our job's out of possession, and that's great. We don't want that part to go either. We know we need to score more goals, but we need to make sure that we're organised and disciplined the other way as well. And I think the 2 away games against 2 sides who can score goals, Wealdstone and Dorking, were really pleasing for us. I thought really disciplined throughout the team, not just the back four and the goalkeeper, throughout the whole team. Starts with the front men, right back through the midfield into the back line and the keeper, and I thought we, to a man, were excellent in both games defensively.
The only downside of the win over Wealdstone, you lost Joe Leasley at a point in that game. How's he doing?
Yeah, lucky he'd been ill in the build-up to the game as well, to be honest. Really put himself out there for the team. Credit to him, that's Joe Leasley. He turns up every day, he's training, he turns up with a great attitude. He wants to play every minute of every game. He probably was nowhere near 100% going into Saturday. He's probably been doing a lot of coughing and spluttering, and his back tightened up during the game. So look, we'll see where he is going into the weekend. He had to come off. It was the right decision to come off in the game. But we'll assess him now going into the weekend, but we won't be putting any risks on him.
Just to clarify, the fact he's back tightened up, was that due to the coughing, or was that an injury aside from the illness?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Look, that's the physio department, to be honest, but I don't think it helped by any means. But like I say, he's another player who's been putting himself out there every single week to be shot at, I suppose. And yeah, he's been great so far, so we need to make sure we get him right.
After the game against Wealdstone, Russ intimated that possibly 1 or 2 might be coming back from your injury list. It was looking a bit brighter. Is there any news there?
Yeah, a bit brighter. Obviously, it's a time thing. It's frustrating, really frustrating. But I think we might have a couple more who might be able to train towards the back end of the week, so we'll have to assess them. That night, Percival and Rhys McNally, hopefully. The rest of them still a bit further away, I'll be honest. But like I say, it's a time thing. We need to make sure we do it right. There's no point getting these players back if they're not quite ready.
If you say they can train towards the end of the week, would the weekend come a bit soon for them in that respect?
Possibly. I think we'll see how they go today and tomorrow.
And in terms of new recruits, I'm guessing with an FA Cup tie coming this weekend, that kind of puts that on hold, really, does it? 'Cause a lot of clubs don't want their players cup tie.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit more difficult. And like I say, more likely than not, we'll have to go with what we've got. It's up to them players. It's a great opportunity to build on what we've done so far. In the last couple of games, two wins. We want to make it 3 going into the next league game. Say all the time, I think we at Kidderminster know more than most how important the cup is. Great way to build momentum and build some excitement around the club.
A word about Ashton United. Okay, they play 2 levels below you, but they're going well in that league.
Yeah, they've got some good players, good experienced players at levels above. We're doing really well this season. I think they're second in their division. They'll have a lot of players who know a lot about us as well. It'll be a tough game. Under no illusions about it.
And of course, the onus is on you as the home side, really, and the higher graded side.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you get a cup tie, first thing you want is a home draw. Everyone says it's old cliche, but it's true. You can get some nightmare ones. You can end up playing on a 4G or a poor surface, but we're at Agra. We've won our last game, and look, we want to build on that. We want to make that 2 now, like I say, and we want to build that momentum. Whether it's in the league, whether it's in the cup, we want to win the next game.
And you've mentioned it already, but a nice little cup run doesn't hurt, does it, really, alongside the league?
Definitely. Look, creates opportunities. You're 1 game away always from a unbelievable draw, and coming in at that later stage as well. It's only 2 years ago that we had probably some of the best memories in the club's history. It's 1 game at a time, and we need to win the next game against Ashton. But look, we know what it can lead to, and it's a fantastic opportunity for players to put themselves out there, eventually on a national stage.
You mentioned Joe Leasley already, and it's unlikely many will be back for this weekend. You didn't lose any others, did you? There are no other problems in addition to
No, look, it's just tired bodies. It's tired bodies. That's what it's been. It's Saturday, Tuesday. It's always a tough stage of the season, but it helps when you win your last 2. I will say that. We're in no different boat to anyone else. Everyone has their problems. Everyone has their issues. You've got to get on with it and deal with it.
And have you noticed finally, James, a kind of lifting of spirits around the place? Because like a night, I come here and you or Russ will say, "Oh yeah, spirits are still high." But when you're on a long run without a win, it's not great, is it? Have you noticed there's been a lift over the last couple of weeks?
Look, they've been quite consistent with their behaviours. The players, the staff, everyone really. What I will say, I always look at it as an opportunity when it's tough. I think because when you do come through it, when you come through it, you're stronger for it, and I really believe that. I think you're stronger as individuals, but definitely as a group as well. When you come through adversity with a tight knit group of players and staff, I think you come out the other side and you've got a lot more respect for each other, and a lot more belief. And look, I'm not saying that any kind of corner's been turned, but the behaviours have to stay the same. You have to keep working hard. You have to stay together. You have to keep believing in what you're doing, and I think the boys are there.